Module 3. Body and Soul. Modular page. Exercise 1A, page 47. 1,
Optician,
2,
psychologist,
3,
pharmacist,
4,
art therapist,
5,
personal trainer,
6,
hypnotist,
7,
dental nurse,
8,
paramedic,
9,
nutritionist,
10,
midwife,
11,
physiotherapist,
12,
beautician,
13,
plastic surgeon,
14.
yoga instructor.
Exercise 3, page 47. Speaker 1.
I work in many different environments. Local communities, hospitals, schools, nursing schools, even prisons. People ask about anything from weight loss to low cholesterol diets. You'd be surprised at the variety of issues people have. Do I follow my own advice? Of course. After all, you only have one body to last your whole lifetime, so why not look after it? One really great way to do this is through healthy eating.
Speaker 2.
People come to me for many different reasons: to tone up, to lose weight, or just to improve their overall health. It's great helping other people feel good about their bodies and motivating them when the going gets tough. It really helps them to come up with a training program that's just for them. It's not just about a strict workout routine, though. I always remind people that a healthy diet as well as regular exercise is important for the mind and body, and that you need to feel good both inside and out.
Speaker 3.
I work in the fields of medicine and therapy. I've helped to treat a whole range of different physical and psychological problems with my expertise. I draw on people's imagination and make them more open to suggestion and instruction.
Speaker 4.
As one of the first people to arrive at the scene of an emergency, we have to figure out what's wrong and what urgent medical help is needed. I also help injured people prepare for transport and make sure they're comfortable on their way to the hospital. Trust me, a little bit of comfort is very important when you've got a broken arm or leg. I really enjoy how rewarding and unpredictable my job is. It keeps me on my toes.
Speaker 5.
I help people on a daily basis by giving advice, recommending the right treatment for a range of ailments, and of course by filling prescriptions. I really enjoy my job because it is very fulfilling and worthwhile, and I know everyone in the community too.
3A, Therapies. Exercise 1B, page 48.
Hypnotherapy, arthritis, meditation, acupuncture, reflexology, osteoporosis, ulcers, blisters, homeopathy, migraine, concussion, indigestion, nosebleed, depression, panic attack.
Exercise 5, page 49.
Look deep into my eyes. Logan's insomnia was leading to a lot of restless nights. Taking a friend's advice, she decided to pay a visit to a hypnotist. Here, Amy looks at the medical benefits of hypnosis and is put into a deep, deep sleep.
The lights are dim and the couch is comfortable. The hypnotist's voice is monotonous, yet soothing.
Listen and relax. Listen and relax.
He repeats over and over. My arms and legs and even my eyelids are feeling heavy. My breathing is slowing down, as though I'm falling into a deep sleep, and then the hypnotist begins. There is evidence that the ancient Egyptians used hypnotism over 2,000 years ago, but hypnotherapy, as we know it, dates from the 18th century. Austrian physician Franz Mesmer became renowned for treating nervous disorders, and we still use his name today whenever we say we are mesmerized by something. It wasn't until the following century, however, that surgeons began to use hypnotism, coming from the Greek word for sleep, to relax patients during surgery. With the rise of modern medicine, however, in the last 200 years, hypnotism has been more associated with stage show hypnotists swinging a pocket watch in front of their victims and asking them to cluck like a chicken to entertain an audience. Now, increasingly, with the help of hypnotherapy, people are managing anxiety, losing weight, stopping snoring, and overcoming many other addictions and conditions. In fact, up to 75% of people who have used hypnotherapy to stop smoking have been able to kick the habit. It has also helped people suffering from phobias, depression, or panic attacks. So how exactly does it work? Scientists are not 100% sure. What they do know is that it creates a state of deep relaxation in which patients are more open to suggestions than when they are wide awake. Patients sometimes compare the experience to being totally absorbed in a good book or film, or in a meeting when their mind wanders. They are not cut off from the outside world, but they're completely focused on the hypnotist's voice. It's at this point that he can suggest positive changes to thought patterns and habits. Hypnotherapy isn't just for psychological problems, though. Amazingly, some hospitals are now using it alongside conventional medicine to reduce pain and speed up recovery. Burn victims, for instance, have benefited from pain relief after a session of hypnotherapy. One pensioner even had an operation which involved a surgeon sawing into her foot while under hypnosis. She says,
I said to myself that if I had any pain, I should think of it as waves lashing against a sea wall. Every time it happened, I imagined the pain going away, like the tide.
While hypnotism isn't a magic wand, it seems it may be able to treat countless conditions. Moreover, it is painless as well as risk-free. It has no side effects, and it's cheap. Many people, however, are still not willing to put their faith in a therapy that can't be scientifically proven. Before trying hypnotherapy for myself, I did a little research and found out that although about 90% of people can be hypnotized, good hypnotherapy patients tend to be relaxed, imaginative, intelligent, and easily absorbed by things. So what happened after my own hypnotherapy experience? Well, throughout it, I felt normal and could still hear the traffic outside. But when I awoke, after what I thought was about 20 minutes, I was surprised to learn that an hour had passed. I have to admit I've been sleeping better ever since. Not perfectly, but there has definitely been an improvement. It looks like hypnotherapy might work for me, but what about you? Could you be hypnotized?
(3B) Health Crazes. Exercise 2, page 50.
Are they crazy? A. Would you pay for oxygen?
I was flicking through a health magazine recently when an article about oxygen bars caught my eye. Some top athletes and rock stars are huge fans and use them to boost their energy, reduce stress and improve their concentration. It all sounded like hot air to me, but then one day a friend persuaded me to try it out. Within minutes we were choosing from a selection of oxygenated fragrances: lemon, relax, or eucalyptus. I chose relax. We had to connect ourselves to an oxygen tank by putting small tubes up our nostrils and then waited to feel the effects. After the recommended 15 minutes, we both felt relaxed and much more awake. Also, the slight headache I'd had before had gone away. Who knows? The oxygen might have helped.
B. A fantastic treatment.
When you go for a pedicure, there's usually just one pedicurist. But imagine having your toes worked on by 150 miniature fish. This is exactly what I experienced recently when I agreed to try a fish pedicure at a local beauty salon. The treatment involves you plunging your feet into a tank full of toothless doctor fish so that they can nibble your dead skin away. As I sat nervously at the edge of the tank and saw the huge number of fish swimming around, I was a little concerned that they wouldn't know when to stop eating. But as I finally dipped my feet in the tank and the fish swarmed over, I couldn't believe how gentle they were. In fact, it really tickled, and I couldn't help but laugh out loud. Afterwards, I was astonished by how smooth my feet felt. I felt like I should have thanked the fish.
C. Feeling weightless.
I had always enjoyed yoga, but after injuring my wrist, I couldn't put much weight on it. My personal trainer suggested that I should try aerial yoga. Yoga in a long silk hammock suspended from the ceiling. You perform various poses sitting, lying, or even spinning upside down in the hammock. It's supposed to tone your muscles and straighten your shoulders. It all sounded good to me, but when my first class started, I was so afraid of falling out of the hammock I hardly moved. I couldn't stop laughing either. To my surprise, aerial yoga was easy to pick up, and I've almost successfully managed to do the cannonball, hugging your knees while swinging upside down.
D. Barking mad.
After mentioning to my friend Brian that I wanted to lose a bit of weight, he said he had the perfect solution for me. He knows how much I adore my dog, Brady, so he suggested I tried Canex racing. The idea behind it, he explained, is that instead of taking your dog for a walk, your dog takes you for a run, while you're attached to it by a harness and an elastic rope. It sounded hilarious, so the next weekend I gave it a try. Well, it was certainly no walk in the park. Brady took off at top speed, and within a few minutes I had branches in my hair, mud splashed all over me, and I was completely out of breath. When we finished, about 25 minutes later, I felt like I had run up Mount Everest. As for Brady, he looked up at me full of energy as if to say, "That was cool, let's do it again."
Three C. Culture Corner. Exercise 4, page 52.
Nature's Spa of the South Pacific. From the moment you arrive in Rotorua, New Zealand, you see the evidence of its risky position on the Earth's ring of fire, a huge ring of volcanic and seismic activity. Volcanoes tower above the landscape. Steam rises from parks, lakes, paths and streets. Hot water roars from the ground, and there are pools of bubbling mud. Join us on a tour of this sizzling wonderland. Just don't disobey the rules, or you'll be treading in very dangerous waters. The Kakahi Falls. First stop, the Kakahi Falls, the largest hot geothermal waterfall in the southern hemisphere. At 40 degrees Celsius, the steaming water is just perfect for a hot bath, but visitors are not allowed in. The falls are very special to the local Maori people, as warriors used to cleanse their wounds there after battle. It's believed that the waters healed their wounds faster. The sulphur bath. This mud pool has never been used for bathing, as the water in it is like a strong acid and would seriously harm anyone who came into contact with it. The mud volcano. Next on the tour is a 2-metre tall mud volcano. Instead of lava, hot mud dangerously erupts from it every 6 weeks over a 5-metre wide diameter. Thankfully, almost all of the eruptions take place at night, so no one gets hurt. Geothermal inferno. These 5 incredible inferno pools range from 70 to 110 degrees Celsius and are up to 15 metres deep. Visitors are urged not to throw stones into the pools, as blocked vents can cause deadly eruptions from the pathways. According to Maori legend, the site is watched over by Maori warriors. Any visitor who ignores the park's warnings will have bad luck. The Medicine Lake. This lake's water has been used for hundreds of years for small aches and pains, arthritis, and skin diseases. The warm green water would be the perfect spot for a midnight swim. Unfortunately, visitors are not allowed to swim in the lake because of its changing nature. However, they can dip their hands into the water to experience its warmth and softness. Mud from the lake is also used in beauty products available from shops in the reserve. At the end of your walk, make sure you take time to enjoy a thermal mud bath at one of the area's health spas. It's a 700-year-old Maori tradition.
(3D) Everyday English. Exercise 1A, page 53.
You look a bit pale. I feel terrible, actually. What's the matter? Get well soon. Oh dear, that sounds awful. When did it come on? It sounds like you could have a migraine. If I were you, I'd take a strong painkiller. Hopefully that will make you feel better.
Exercise 2, page 53.
Are you all right, Melissa? You look a bit pale.
Well, no, not really. I feel terrible, actually.
What's the matter?
Well, I've got a splitting headache, and I feel really nauseous too.
Oh dear, that sounds awful. When did it come on?
About half an hour ago.
Well, it sounds like you could have a migraine.
You might be right.
If I were you, I'd take a strong painkiller and go and lie down in a dark room. Hopefully, that will make you feel better.
Yes, I think I'll do that. Thanks a lot, Dave.
Oh, you're welcome. Get well soon.
Exercise 3A, page 53.
Oh dear, that sounds terrible. I'm really sorry to hear that. Oh no, you poor thing. I really hope you feel better soon. That must be awful.
3E, Emotional Health. Exercise 2,
Page 54.
Look on the bright side. A day without laughter is a day wasted. Charlie Chaplin.
By the time I got to the community centre, I was already 5 minutes late. When I finally found the room, a diverse group of young and old people were wandering around, pointing at each other and giggling. It was one of the most ridiculous sights I had ever seen, but I shouldn't have been so taken aback, because this was a laughter yoga class. Laughter yoga was started in 1995 in Mumbai, India, by Madan Kataria, a doctor. He had been looking into the medical advantages of laughter and found that a great way to relieve stress was to laugh for 15 to 20 minutes every day. He formed a public laughter club in a park, and before long, a new movement combining laughter and special breathing exercises had been created. The idea took off, and unbelievably, there are now around 5,000 laughter yoga classes taking place around the world. At first, I was very skeptical. How could a bit of silly giggling feel like exercise? Our instructor, Marianne, explained that laughter reduces stress, improves circulation, tones muscles, and even helps the respiratory system. In fact, just the simple act of smiling, she said, tricks our bodies into thinking we are happy, as it releases stress-fighting hormones called endorphins. Well, I was certainly willing to try it to help me let off steam after my stressful week. As warm-up exercises, Marianne asked us to walk around the room while chanting and clapping. Afterwards, we lay on the floor, kicking our legs in the air, and to my surprise, I started to snigger. Then we pretended to joke with old friends and drink from imaginary teacups. The room was soon full of chuckles, giggles, and roars of laughter. I have to admit, the laughter was contagious. At the end of the session, I felt refreshed. It was as if a weight had been lifted from my shoulders. Before we left, Marianne gave us a list of easy actions for joyful living and told us to try out some before the next class. The list included simple things such as meditation, helping a neighbour, learning a new skill, or even stopping to admire a wild flower or looking up at a starry night sky. That should be easy enough, I thought. Firstly, I tried meditating for 10 minutes each morning. I sat silently with my eyes closed and focused on my breathing while observing my thoughts. At first, that was hard. But as the week progressed, the clutter in my mind was eventually replaced with a feeling of peace and calm. The next thing I did was offer to help an elderly neighbour carry her shopping bags home. She appreciated it, and I felt lighter in my step afterwards. Friday was a terrible day. I stepped in a huge puddle, got soaking wet on my way to college, and then my car wouldn't start, so I had to catch 2 trains home. Taking advice from Marianne's list, at the end of the day, I wrote down 3 positive things that happened that day. My friend brought me a warm drink when I arrived at the college. I listened to my favourite music on the journey home. My brother promised to look up my car for me the next day. I read somewhere that happiness doesn't just happen, you have to work at it. But I found that it doesn't actually take that much work. So, try it out for yourself. You don't have to go to a laughter yoga class. You can smile and laugh more. Look for small ways to bring joy to others and yourself. And focus on the positive things in your life, not the negative. I don't think you'll regret it.
3F. Mental Health. Exercise 7A, page 57.
A hidden enemy. Are you losing sleep or not eating well? Do you feel that your schedule is too busy or that there is too much expected of you? If so, it is likely that you are suffering from stress, and you are not alone. Julia wakes up to the sound of her alarm every morning, has a quick shower, and runs to catch the bus to school. She finishes lessons at 4 p.m. and gets the bus home and spends 2 hours doing homework. On Monday and Thursday evenings, she has Spanish classes, and on Wednesdays and Fridays, she goes to music lessons. Lately, she has been having headaches and finds it hard to concentrate in class. Unfortunately, Julia is just another one of the many teenagers who suffer from stress. Recent studies show that almost every teenager in the USA has felt some sort of stress, and that many are seriously stressed out. In fact, it is believed that up to 33% of teenagers feel stress on a daily basis, while 67% feel stressed out at least once a week. Not surprisingly, 78% of the teenagers interviewed said that school was the main source of their stress. So why is stress so widespread, and what can be done to prevent it or lessen its effects? Stress is the feeling of being under emotional pressure and is the body's way of attempting to deal with a tough situation. It can be caused by anything from a real physical threat, such as bullying, to a simple fear of making a presentation in front of the class, and can affect how you think, feel, behave, and how your body functions. When the body feels stressed, it produces hormones to make you more alert and capable of handling the situation. These hormones speed up the metabolism by increasing breathing and heart rate and raising blood pressure. A reasonable amount of stress is good for the body. It keeps you on your toes and improves your performance. However, frequent stress causes the nervous system to remain on alert and to produce excessive amounts of stress hormones. This can have an adverse effect on your performance, leave you feeling tired and weakened, and eventually cause health problems such as acne, high blood pressure, depression, or other diseases. Obviously, managing stress should be on everyone's mind. One of the best ways to minimize stress is by doing moderate exercise. While exercising, the heart increases blood flow and pumps more oxygen around the body, reducing levels of the stress hormone cortisol and releasing adrenaline and endorphins, or the feel-good chemicals. This leads to reduced stress levels, a feeling of well-being, and contributes to better all-round health. Experts agree that cardiovascular or aerobic exercise helps most in stress relief. Just 10 minutes of moderate exercise is enough to improve your mood, but by doing 30 minutes of exercise a day, you're likely to gain all the benefits of keeping fit and feeling good while improving your chances of coping with stress. So take time to relax, but instead of slouching on the couch, why don't you get out there and make yourself feel good? You're worth it.
(3G) Skills. Exercise 2A, page 58. Pair 1.
I usually study until very late, just before an exam, but I think it's better to have a good study plan. I like the idea of going for a jog to take a break from studying. It must be nice to go outside and get some fresh air. I don't really like yoga because I think it's boring.
I think studying with a friend is a good tip and could really help you unwind. We might get distracted though and end up wasting a lot of time. Actually, maybe studying on your own is a better idea. Eating healthy food is a good idea. This will help you study. Maybe that's the best idea, and exercising too.
Pair 2.
Okay, let's start. Well, first of all, I think that exercise is a really good way to let off steam. So I think that taking time out to go for a jog in the park would be a really good way to reduce stress. What do you think?
Yes, I totally agree with you. Exercise is really important to keep stress levels down, and it would make our classmate feel more energized before going back to work. I think that making a study plan is a really good idea too. It helps you to make sure you get all your studying done in time. However, if you fall behind schedule, then you can feel even more stressed.
Yes, I see what you mean. In my opinion, healthy eating is also really important. Eating the right food helps you to concentrate and keep your energy levels up. Would you agree?
Definitely. Our classmates should get plenty of sleep too. So going out dancing until late won't help. She should leave the celebrations until after the exams.
Maybe you're right. I don't completely agree with you though. She could have one night off a week to relax and maybe dancing would help her to do that.
Yes, I see your point. Something like yoga might be a better idea though. That's good exercise and helps you to relax too. What about studying with a friend? How important do you think that is?
Well, I think that can be helpful sometimes. You could talk through any problems instead of getting worried about them. To me though, this could also waste a lot of time. You might distract each other.
Yes, I agree. Usually it's better to study for exams by yourself, in your own way. So, which two would help our classmate avoid stress the most?
In my opinion, taking time out to do some stress-releasing exercise is one of the most helpful ideas.
Yes, I totally agree. I also think that eating healthily and generally staying healthy will keep your mind alert and help you to fight stress. Do you agree?
Yes, I do.
Exercise 2B, page 58.
Okay, let's start. Well, first of all, I think that exercise is a really good way to let off steam. So I think that taking time out to go for a jog in the park would be a really good way to reduce stress. What do you think?
Yes, I totally agree with you. Exercise is really important to keep stress levels down, and it would make our classmate feel more energized before going back to work. I think that making a study plan is a really good idea too. It helps you to make sure you get all your studying done in time. However, if you fall behind schedule, then you can feel even more stressed.
Yes, I see what you mean. In my opinion, healthy eating is also really important. Eating the right food helps you to concentrate and keep your energy levels up. Would you agree?
Definitely. Our classmates should get plenty of sleep too. So going out dancing until late won't help. She should leave the celebrations until after the exams.
Maybe you're right. I don't completely agree with you though. She could have one night off a week to relax and maybe dancing would help her to do that.
Yes, I see your point. Something like yoga might be a better idea though. That's good exercise and helps you to relax too. What about studying with a friend? How important do you think that is?
Well, I think that can be helpful sometimes. You could talk through any problems instead of getting worried about them. To me though, this could also waste a lot of time. You might distract each other.
Yes, I agree. Usually it's better to study for exams by yourself, in your own way. So, which two would help our classmate avoid stress the most?
In my opinion, taking time out to do some stress-releasing exercise is one of the most helpful ideas.
Yes, I totally agree. I also think that eating healthily and generally staying healthy will keep your mind alert and help you to fight stress. Do you agree?
Yes, I do.
Exercise 4, page 58. 1. You hear a woman talking about her back pain. Where did her accident happen? A. At work. B. At home. C. In the street.
It all started while I was on my way to the office one day. I ate a banana, then I threw the skin into the litter bin at the side of the road, but missed. I bent down to pick it up and got this terrible pain at the bottom of my back. Luckily, I hadn't gone far from home and managed to get back. I phoned the doctor and made an appointment for tomorrow, but I don't know how I'm going to get there. My biggest problem is work. I have a presentation to finish before the weekend, and I've absolutely no idea how I'm going to get it done now.
2. You hear someone talking about their nut allergy. How do they feel? A. Upset that they can't eat out. B. Disappointed they can't eat some tasty dishes. C. Worried about eating nuts by mistake.
I first developed a nut allergy when I was 14. It suddenly came on one day after I'd eaten a few salted peanuts. I panicked because I felt like I couldn't breathe and my tongue began to swell. At the hospital, I was told that I had to be extremely careful about what I eat. Now I have to check the labels of everything I buy in the supermarket and be really careful when I eat out at friends' houses or in restaurants. I don't mind doing that anymore. It comes naturally to me now. The worst thing is not being able to eat certain things like cakes and some Asian dishes with peanut oil or nuts in. Some of them look so delicious, but I know that eating even a small amount could be very dangerous for me.
3. You hear two sisters talking. Why doesn't Millie want to wear contact lenses? A. She thinks they are expensive. B. She thinks glasses suit her. C. She thinks they are too much trouble.
I hate going out in the rain. My glasses always get wet.
Well, why don't you get contact lenses? They aren't that expensive anymore.
Oh, I know. That doesn't bother me. Actually, I really don't like wearing glasses that much. I don't think they suit me very much. But I don't like the thought of having to spend time every day cleaning contact lenses, then putting them in and taking them out again. I wouldn't like to touch my eyes either.
Well, it's not that bad. I've been wearing contact lenses now for ages and I got used to all that. But I understand what you mean. Anyway, you look fine in your glasses.
Thanks.
4. You hear a woman talking on the phone. When will she see the doctor? A. This afternoon. B. Tomorrow morning. C. Tomorrow afternoon.
Oh, hi. I've got an appointment to see Dr. Graves today at 3:30. I was wondering if I could change that to tomorrow at the same time. Yes, I know it's short notice, but I have to pick my brother up from the airport tomorrow afternoon, and I'd forgotten all about it. Oh no, unfortunately I'm working tomorrow morning. There's nothing in the afternoon? Okay, no problem. Don't worry, I'll keep my original appointment. My brother will have to get a taxi.
5. You hear a man talking on the radio about dealing with insomnia. What does he suggest? A. See a doctor. B. Take a daytime nap. C. Change your behavior and lifestyle.
Insomnia affects many people at some point during their life, and the most common cause is stress and worry. It's easy to take daytime naps or sleep in late to try to catch up on lost sleep, but this only disrupts your natural sleep patterns even more. Sleeping tablets may be prescribed by a doctor for short-term use in severe cases, but the best solution of all is to try and deal with the causes of the insomnia and make changes to the way you live your life. For instance, try to deal with the worries you have first. Then make sure your bedroom is dark and cool and go to bed and get up at the same time every day. Also, get more exercise during the day and have a warm, milky drink before bed and avoid drinks with caffeine in them such as coffee or cola.
3H. Curricula. PSHE. Exercise 5. Page 59.
Anger management. Anger is a normal human emotion that all of us experience every now and again. It is a mixture of physical and emotional feelings in which a big surge of energy goes through the body as adrenaline is released. Anger isn't a bad thing in itself and has actually helped the human race adapt and evolve. However, if it isn't managed properly, problems can emerge. The expression of anger can lead to verbal abuse or physical aggression and can have a very negative effect both on our physical and mental health, as well as on our relationships with others. Uncontrolled anger can cause high blood pressure, insomnia, depression, and even a heart attack, and can be responsible for us losing friends. Suppressing anger doesn't help, as it merely becomes a ticking time bomb just waiting to explode. It is vital that we learn to manage our anger without trying to ignore it. Exercise is a great outlet for anger. If you think you are getting angry, it is a good time to go for a brisk walk, run or cycle, or even to kick a ball against a wall. Physical activity releases endorphins, feel-good hormones that help you relax. Likewise, deep breathing or meditation can help too. Closing your eyes and imagining a calming scene and repeating a phrase such as, "Take it easy," can help you to unwind. When you feel at ease, you can come back to the problem and try to solve it in a relaxed manner. Don't let your anger get the better of you, but instead, try to channel the energy into something positive.
Skills 3. Exercise 4, page 63.
Hi, Sarah. Have you heard my news? I'm taking capoeira classes at the community centre.
Morning, Andy. I don't think I've ever heard of capoeira. What is it?
It's a mix of martial arts, dance, and music. But unlike other martial arts, there's no actual contact between the two players.
If you don't touch your opponent, how do you win?
It's all about skill. You stop before you hit someone and avoid attacks rather than block them. It's a series of movements, using mainly your legs, feet, and head to a rhythm played on musical instruments. One of the musicians decides who the best was.
It sounds more like dancing to me.
Well, I personally like to think of it as a martial arts set to music.
Do you need to be fit to take part?
You need to be reasonably fit, yes, but just like other martial arts, beginners learn simple moves first of all. I've only been going for a few weeks, so it'll be a while before I face an opponent.
So why did you start doing capoeira?
I'd been going to the gym for years, but I was losing interest. Working out had become a chore. The good thing about capoeira is that it's a sport that brings people together. I've made lots of friends since I've been going to the community centre.
The more you tell me, the more interesting it seems. How do people sign up for classes?
There's not that many places, so it's best to phone or call in at the community centre and book. It's getting more and more popular every week. The classes started a couple of weeks ago. At the beginning, there was just one class on a Monday, but so many people came along that they had to add another on Thursdays.
It sounds like it's a lot of fun. I think I'll join up.
That's a great idea. We could go together on Thursday.
Oh no, I've just remembered I've got hockey practice on Thursdays, and there's an important match this weekend.
Well, why don't you come with me next Monday then?
OK. I'll phone the community centre when I get back home and book a place.
Exercise 5B, page 64.
A lot of people are on diets these days, and there might be several reasons for that. First of all, people may feel that others will find them more attractive if they are thinner. There's a lot of pressure from the media to lose weight. For example, magazines often have photographs of celebrities on beaches, and they comment on their weight. Also, advertisements on TV are usually full of slim people in beautiful houses leading successful lives, and that suggests that the thinner you are, the better your life will be. Secondly, people might go on diets for health reasons. For instance, someone who has high blood pressure may need to cut out dairy products and exercise more. To my mind, this is by far the best reason to go on a diet. Regarding my own lifestyle, I would say that I try to make it healthy. I exercise regularly, I don't smoke, and I eat a lot of homemade food. On the other hand, I do have a lot of stress in my life. I'm taking exams at the moment, and sometimes I can't get to sleep at night because I'm thinking about whether I'm going to pass or not. As for which type of food I prefer, I'd say that what I eat depends on where I am and who I'm with. At home, for example, we always eat a good balanced meal. A little meat, lots of vegetables, and plenty of fruit juice. I always have cereal for breakfast. I drink a lot of water during the day, and I have fruit instead of crisps and sweets. However, if I'm out with my friends, I'll probably eat something from a fast food restaurant. a burger with fries perhaps. So I like healthy food, but I also enjoy junk food from time to time.
Do you think it is important for people to know how to cook?
Yes, I do. It's very important for two reasons. The first is that it gives you some independence. You don't have to rely on other people cooking for you. The second reason is that you can cook real homemade food. It will save you money and you won't eat junk food so often.
What's your favourite dish?
Lasagna. I love all Italian food, but lasagna is my favourite. My mum doesn't cook it at home, so I only really eat it in restaurants. That's another good reason for knowing how to cook. I could make it myself and have it all the time.
Exercise 1, page 66.
Russian folk cures. It's perhaps no surprise that Russia has a huge variety of centuries-old folk cures. As the world's biggest country, it has a rich diversity of people that relied on traditional treatments and remedies long before a state health system was set up. Did your parents ever put garlic in your pocket when you were a child to protect you against a flu epidemic? Garlic has been considered to be a miracle cure for many ailments for hundreds of years. Eaten regularly, it can boost the immune system, which protects the body against disease. It is even believed that chopped garlic can kill germs when it is left on a plate. For cold and flu symptoms, and even a bad cough, try gorchichniki. These mustard plasters, small pieces of paper covered with mustard flour, are soaked in warm water and then placed on a patient's back or front. After about 10 or 20 minutes, the patient goes straight to bed. Widely available at pharmacies, they bring the blood to the surface of the skin and heat up the patient. Many people swear by this remedy. Did you know that there are over 3,000 herbs with healing properties in Russia? Gargling with chamomile, a well-known antiseptic, can help a throat infection. Unbelievably, St. John's wort is said to be the cure for 99 illnesses, and marigolds are excellent for skin allergies. They can even be added to children's baths to soothe sore skin. A more unusual cure is mummiyo, a tar-like substance that grows in the cracks between rocks. This is another all-purpose remedy that can help with problems such as headaches, ulcers, and pain and stress relief. Laboratory tests have even suggested that it can slow down both the mental and physical effects of aging. People usually try to avoid stinging nettles in the wild, but they are fantastically tasty made into a soup and great for stopping bleeding from cuts and nosebleeds. Stinging nettles contain vitamins A, C, D, and K, as well as being rich in iron, calcium, and potassium. They can be used as a mouthwash to get rid of bacteria in the mouth or throat, and some people believe it can encourage stronger hair when it's boiled down and put on the scalp. Last but not least, the traditional banya, a steam bathhouse, has undoubted health benefits. Unlike the Finnish sauna, which may be hotter but has a dry heat, the Russian version is cooler with a wet, moist heat. A banya session ends with a vigorous beating with pine or birch branches called veniki. The heat opens the pores and relaxes the muscles, while veniki improves the circulation like a good massage. For best results, if you dare, go from the heat of a winter banya into the cold of the snow or a freezing river.